Republican Minnesota senators introduced a bill to make Trump Derangement Syndrome a psychological diagnosis recognized by law. One of those senators was busted for trying to meet up with a minor. Methinks thou doth legislate too much. And who better to introduce a bill about mental health than someone who is clearly mentally disturbed? I interrupted this wimpy soy boy's pathetic liberal rantings to bring you the real news. Welcome to Real America Patriot Truth News that is totally real. I'm Jacob, the patriotic renegade. We are under attack again. And by we, of course, I mean the patriots who I assume are watching this on the toilet right now for maximum efficiency. An epidemic is sweeping the nation. And no, I don't mean the vaccine epidemic in Texas. And yes, you heard me right. A vaccine epidemic. A hysterical response to a totally unforeseeable outbreak of measles. I'm not putting that deep state science juice inside my masculine temple of a body that God gave me. If God wanted me to be healthy, he would have given me some sort of medical solution, but not that one. No, there's a much worse epidemic sweeping the nation.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome?
Trump Derangement Syndrome.
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 Trump Derangement Syndrome overriding basic common sense.
That's right, Trump Derangement Syndrome. Finally, a disease I actually want to believe exists. Instead of having a reasonable debate on the issues, I can win every argument by just saying, look out, he's got an NPR tote bag, put him in a mental asylum or something. And it's not just me who loves this new diagnosis. Republicans from Minnesota decided to take it a step further by introducing the definition of Trump Derangement Syndrome in a new bill.
According to the language of the bill, Trump Derangement Syndrome means the acute onset of paranoia in otherwise normal persons that is in reaction to the policies and presidencies of President Donald J. Trump. It goes on to say symptoms of TDS may include Trump-induced general hysteria and can be characterized by verbal expressions of intense hostility toward the current president or overt acts of aggression and violence.
I love it. Easy ways to identify Trump Derangement Syndrome that are definitely unique and don't describe hundreds of other medical conditions. Now I can play the doctor. And just watch how Hannity patriotically defined this definitely not made-up disease.
These people are just downright sick in their obsession to hate the president.
And trust me, this guy knows obsession. He talks about Maxine Waters on what feels like every show. Now let's add obsession to the list. There we go. Now let's hear from someone who, and I cannot stress this enough, is a medical doctor.
And the one feature that was universal in people who were really suffering from this was a sense of external focus of control. In other words, things happen to them, sort of victim. Think about that. And also associated with that is kind of a narcissism.
That's right. Only do-nothing Democrats with their psychotic feelings about President Trump would be narcissistic enough to introduce a bill with no substance and no hope of passing just for attention by stroking their party leader's ego. Could you imagine if Republicans did that? But you might be asking, how is this disease caused? Well, our Fox doctor had the answer.
About 20% of people really become hypnotized by the press. They become hypnotized by their social echo chambers, and they can be persuaded very quickly, that 20%, that they're in danger, they can be hysterical, they can be delusional.
Exactly. The lamestream media is to blame for causing Trump Derangement Syndrome by brainwashing its viewers. And you know it's true because I keep hearing it on TV all the time. It's sneaky, but these liberal networks use catchy phrases to get their message across. Networks like MSDNC, the Cringy Nonsense Network, and C-SPAN, who think they can embarrass the president by showing us what he says and does. Does the C in C-SPAN stand for communism? We'll let you decide. Anyway, the lying media is always using these dirty tactics to manipulate their audience, which is why it's likely the C stands for communism. People are saying it more and more, and those people are definitely not me 20 seconds ago. But what is the cure for Trump Derangement Syndrome?
The way to develop mental health and resiliency, particularly around obsessive thoughts and anxiety, is exposure. Exposure therapy, tolerable exposure. Ideally, we'd expose them to President Trump. We'd make contact with him.
Yes, exposure. They should expose themselves to President Trump. You know, now that I think about it, that sounds like a form of protest. Exposure therapy fixes all mental syndromes. It worked for me. When I had a fear of spiders, I spent the night in a tarantula nest, and now for some reason my skin feels like it's on fire. But now nothing can scare me. I dare you to find anything that could possibly...
This is CNN Breaking News.
Ah! Initiate panic sequence! The deep state is infiltrated! Run for your lives! Lockdown! Oh, haha, very funny, Douglas. Hilarious prank. Very amused. Where was I? Oh, yes, exposure. Exposure isn't the only solution. Watching my show will keep Trump Derangement Syndrome from spreading to you and your family. You can also buy tactical grade food powder, which is 100% woke-free, no cage-free eggs, and beef sourced from cows genetically bred to produce 50% more methane, and made in, well, basically America. Anyone who says it's just repurposed diatomaceous earth is a liar! This is why I am proud to be on the side that isn't brainwashed and can think clearly like true patriots. They are not infected. Just look at them dominate.
Go f*** yourself.
That's not funny!
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
50 years!
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem? Okay.
Wait a second. They're all displaying intense hostility with verbal attacks like Dr. Drew said. Must be a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. They couldn't possibly have Trump Derangement Syndrome. They'd have to be paranoid.
This pardon is the deep state's screw you.
The uniparty thing going on.
The globalist order was collapsing by their own corruption and mismanagement and their alliance with China.
The deep state, with the power that they have.
Deep state.
Yes, they control the weather.
The Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. That's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it. That's true.
Yeah, but they're not obsessed.
Donald Trump's a style icon.
I just love you.
Trump is surrounded by some really unbelievably smart people.
Mr. Trump knows exactly what he's talking about, and he is a negotiator extraordinaire.
Thank you for your leadership and thank you for everything you're doing.
I want to thank you for standing up to the Chinese Communist Party.
I want to thank you as well for the shipbuilding.
Your vision is a turning point and an inflection point in American history.
Your leadership at the border, absolutely remarkable.
What you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country, but ultimately to the world.
You were overwhelmingly elected by the biggest majority.
Okay, but at least they aren't narcissists.
Your all-time favorite president, me.
Please tell me they don't have victim mentality.
And I'm a victim.
The hard left wants to censor conservatives.
Democrats will silence you.
Silence conservative voices.
Silencing conservatives.
They also silence me.
The censorious left is coming for your social media platforms.
What this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
Ah! It's Trump Derangement Syndrome! It's everywhere! It's infected the entire Republican Party! We have an irrational obsession with Trump brought on by the corrupt media, which causes intense hysterical reactions, like classifying reasonable disagreements as a mental illness, making us too paranoid to make even the slightest criticisms, which is a tactic used by authoritarians. And what was the solution to this Trump Derangement Syndrome? How can I free myself?
Exposure therapy.
Which means we have to get exposed to other points of view, rather than letting this echo chamber feed a dangerous narcissism. Maybe we can learn something new and change minds through reasonable discourse. Nah, that sounds like something somebody with woke mind virus would say. Now buy this gold, because when the world economy collapses, a useless metal will definitely have more value than food!